Crews on scene here today tell me that they're mostly focusing on mopping up this fire. You can see behind me just how much smoke is still being put off. Not too much, but residents are still not being let in and out of this Highway 1 closure, a problem for those who are still inside of this evacuation zone. When we first got here this morning, there were no active flames that could be seen, but we are starting to see some flames pop up from behind this ledge. You can see behind me a couple extra CAL FIRE trucks just pulled up trying to clear some of this brush in this area, but it is very windy and it is expected to stay that way throughout the night, which CAL FIRE says will not be great to help in the containment of this fire. Highway 1 is now open to both locals and tourists, but there are still traffic controls you can see behind me and a lot of heavy equipment coming in and out. CAL FIRE still has their helicopters here, and although those evacuation orders were lifted, some tell me that they're not ready to come home just yet. The 3 young men charged by the Department of Justice allegedly played a part in the distribution and advertising of these counterfeit drugs to high schoolers all across Monterey County, but the investigation took a turn after a 15-year-old from Pacific Grove died from a fatal overdose back in March. The complaint against Alexander alleges that he used the social media app Snapchat to advertise and sell these counterfeit oxycodone and Xanax pills to students all across the Monterey area. Now, back in 2019, Caltrans did install these no truck U-turn signs in various areas all along the 101, but cars are still allowed to make this dangerous turn right into oncoming traffic. And Salinas Fire says there are still parts of this facility that are online and operational. We've already seen employees and truckers coming in and out this evening. But as for the main processing facility that you can see behind me, they are considering that building a total loss. Now, more and more people are showing up here at Window on the Bay in Monterey, cars driving by, honking their support. Now, Senator Adkins says that the amendment will need 2/3 vote in the state legislature to make it onto that November ballot, and then another 2/3 vote majority by voters to pass. Of course, the Pro-Am is all about golf, but many fans come from near and far for the celebs. Now, there is no proof of COVID vaccine or mask required outdoors. We spoke to one fan who came all the way from Hawaii to see fan favorite Mexican boxer Canelo Alvarez. Those who were evacuated last week from the Benchlands to the River Street Garage have now been moved here to Depot Park. The city says this is temporary, but many who live in the area say they're not happy with the city's decision to move the homeless back in. This project has been more than a decade in the making, one of the first of its kind, creating the only safe passageway across 17 for wildlife. And now it's leading the way for more projects just like this all across the state. And the Land Trust is using virtual reality to give humans an up-close look at how animals are expected to benefit from this passageway. The CHP, CAL FIRE, and the Sheriff's Office were all out here this morning trying to piece together just what happened when a call for a 2-vehicle crash ended with a body in the water. Yeah, it has been pretty busy here today at the San Jose airport, and if you are heading out here, I'm told it's going to be even busier over the next 2 days. But people I spoke to say they're just excited to be reuniting with family after another long pandemic year. The airport says so far they haven't seen any major delays this week, but that could change with the rain that's just starting to come down right now. So it's extra important to check your flight status before making the journey out to the airport. Better yet, you can sign up for text alerts to get those sent straight to your phone. In San Jose, Lisa Principi, KION News Channel 546. Workers today at this Nob Hill in Salinas were offering masks to those who walked in without one. Some listened, some didn't, but county health officials say they're largely relying on people to listen to those warnings as the state sees a rise in cases before Christmas. According to the UC Berkeley Labor Center, undocumented Californians make up the largest group of the uninsured population, with nearly 1.3 million under the age of 65 without insurance. The governor's proposal aims to change that. And PG&E expects that their crews will be working down on Highway 9 until around midnight tonight. As for the wood from this tree, crews tell me that some of it will be going to the dump, some will become firewood, and the owner of Scarborough Lumber will be keeping a giant piece to become a monument in front of the store. The Sheriff's Office says right now they do not know if this shooting was gang-related, and they do not have a suspect. Betty White's beloved Carmel home is right on the beach with this beautiful ocean view, but if you're interested in this golden opportunity, you're gonna have to act fast. There's a lot of interest, and we're hearing offers may have to be in by the first week of April. Now, this is how it all starts, just this bare bones structure, but soon with the help of these students, it'll become a home for a family in San Benito County. Now, this rebate proposal comes as Republican lawmakers are pushing to suspend the gas tax. But how much would that actually save? We did the math. The current average for a gallon of regular gas in California is $5.78. Removing the gas tax would make it $5.27. That means to fill up a 12-gallon tank, you would save $6.12 without the tax.
The cut in the gas tax has no guarantee that that money will end up in the pockets of consumers.
So the $400 rebate would cover what you would save from the 51.1 cent per gallon tax for about 65 fill-ups. As part of this agreement, the current owners of this hospital have agreed to keep their doors open until March 31st to help give the healthcare district more time to take over. And I know Dan said it, today did seem like the perfect day to have some ice cream, but the owner of Sousa's Cone says he's closed for the season. He said he actually had better business during the pandemic when people were out of school. Veronica, Phil. According to this new report, to afford average rent here on the Central Coast, you need to make $27 an hour in San Benito County, $36 an hour in Monterey County, and $48 an hour in Santa Cruz County. That's more than 3 times the state minimum wage. Police say that the shooting happened on this street back on May 5th, but they say people in the area thought that what they heard were fireworks for Cinco de Mayo. To qualify, you need to make less than 80% of the area median income where the property you want to buy is located. That's $64,000 in Monterey County, $89,000 in Santa Cruz County, and $118,000 in San Benito.
That Bill Murray is a piece of work. Hey, look who it is. It's Lisa Principi. She was also here in Pebble Beach today. She was speaking with local business owners who are getting a shot in the arm for having the Pro-Am in town.
Yeah, this is really a kickoff for events here on the peninsula. The PG Chamber of Commerce actually sponsors their own bus service to and from the tournament to draw more people out to their hotels and restaurants once the golf fun is over. Yeah, the rain has stopped, but the roads are still very slick and wet, for many adding to the travel headache, but it's not stopping drivers from taking off. The city says that the proposed warehouse would have gone right here on this unused plot of land off of Abbott and Harris Streets. But although the Amazon facility has fallen through, the city says this plot has been zoned for development for the past 10 years, but nobody has moved in.
There's almost no one there.
Yeah. It's like a ghost town.
Yeah.
Yellow tagged homes and fire crews from all over the state taking over the roadways. 500 people were told to evacuate for the Colorado fire Friday night, but some decided to stay behind.
Our other sister has been at our house this whole time, so she never really thought of leaving because she knew she wouldn't be able to get back in.
And from where our house is, you can kind of directly see the ridge that was burning or is still burning. So it's kind of easy to gauge how dangerous it is.
The Severson sisters say although they live within the Highway 1 closure, they were not actually under the evacuation order.
The evacuation zone is in the lower part of the canyon, so technically if it got bad, we would have to go through that zone. So it doesn't really make sense that we weren't evacuated.
It's the only way out. There's only one road in and out.
Both sisters work in Monterey, but if they leave the closure to go to work, they won't be allowed to return.
Our sister just picked us up, and she was just on the other side of this line, and they let us just get in her car, and she took us up yesterday. We had to help at our house, and then a neighbor needed their goats taken in and that sort of thing, and then we came back today because we have to work.
CAL FIRE says there are still hazards on Highway 1 from the fire and emergency vehicles going in and out, but essential services were being let through the closure Tuesday with CHP escorts. This family is staying with friends. They stopped by to drop off some supplies over the line. This man never left. He says they're surviving off supplies they had stocked for emergencies. But in a selfless act, he says firefighters offered to drop him off something he needed, feed for his chickens. A couple days of inconvenience, but everyone we spoke to today is just thankful their homes could be saved. And CAL FIRE is stressing that all Californians need to have a plan and be ready to go at any time of the year. Proof with this January wildfire in Big Sur. Reporting in Monterey County, Lisa Principi, KIUN News Channel 546. The turkey has barely hit the table and people are already out here looking forward to the next holiday. Crest Ranch here in Santa Cruz is only open through the weekend due to a shortage of trees after last year's fires. So acting fast may be the way to go if you are looking to get a real tree this Christmas. It's a sign of the season. Chainsaws, axes, and cars driving away with trees tied to the top. It's a tradition that brings many families coming back year after year.
66 years in a row, although it does look a little different now than it used to.
We came as a family and we've just kept growing every year. It's great to be back here. Really great. Rain or shine.
But this year, Crest Ranch in the Santa Cruz Mountains will only be open through Sunday after more than 85% of their trees were burned in last year's devastating CZU wildfire.
Which is about 50,000 trees, what was calculated at various stages of growth. And so it could be from a seedling to a fully mature tree. About 40 acres of trees is what we had, and now we're down to 9.
Owner Louise Moran says they are incredibly grateful for the community's support.
Our customers and the community have supported us both in with our GoFundMe page that we still have up on our website. It went towards planting seedlings, doing irrigation, clearing out all the burnt trees, which makes it look beautiful here, almost like you didn't know it had happened.
But it will take another 5 years for them to fully rebuild. Christmas trees take 5 to 10 years to grow on average.
The community knows, and it's great to see that the people who own this are going strong, and that this can be here for another 60 years.
Yeah, it was terrible to see the fire be so devastating.
But there are plenty of other Christmas tree farms in the Santa Cruz Mountains to support, which Crest Ranch says will help them carry on their tradition for years to come.
We're encouraging people go support other choose and cut Christmas tree farms, helping them out, and you're also helping us so you can carry on the tradition of a good old-fashioned family time, getting a nice fresh tree opposed to a plastic tree, and allowing us the 5 to 10 years that we'll need for the growth of the seedlings that we planted last year.
In Santa Cruz County, Lisa Principi, KION News Channel 546. These students are earning their diploma while learning a trade. Students at Rancho Cielo and Salinas are using their hands to create something that's a huge demand right now: housing.
We learn all facets of construction, so if they want to be a plumber, they want to be a framer, they want to install windows, doors, roofing, they learn all of it.
Students not only learn high school basics, but they apply those skills to earn a certificate in their trade.
A lot of it is math, and when it makes sense to them, why I'm teaching them that math or why they're using algebra and why they're learning geometry, and when it makes sense here, a light goes off and they figure out, okay, that's why I'm learning all these things.
Now, this is how it all starts, just this bare bones structure, but soon with the help of these students, it'll become a home for a family in San Benito County.
So we're gonna help to fill this up.
The tiny homes will soon be loaded up on a truck and donated to the Homeless Transitional Housing Project in Hollister.
I've been in I've been homeless before, and I know how it is, so it really feels good to help others. I've been in my position before, and just giving me something to work towards, like a career, not just fast food, something small, It gives actual career out to further yourself.
But the goal for students and the program is much bigger.
The goal is to scale this up, to build more tiny homes, to find more places to put them, to give more people in need of housing a good, healthy place to live. We would obviously love to do a project right here in Salinas, which we're working on now.
Giving the most vulnerable in the community a better chance at success.
We placed about 40 kids in the community. I see some of those kids. They're out there, working in construction. So that's a great feeling to know that you made a difference in a young man's life.
But it's not just for the boys.
I want to become a future electrician, which they're going to help me get into it.
Reporting in Monterey County, Lisa Principi, KION News Channel 546.